Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Welcome to the big news. The topic for today's discussion, World Diabetes Day. Let us try and understand what is this topic all about. What is diabetes? This happens to be a disease. It usually occurs when the blood glucose, also called as blood sugar, is too high in nature. How does it occur? We have one of the hormones called as insulin. Insulin is a hormone which is made by the pancreas. Our body usually breaks down most of the food that we eat into sugar, which is nothing but the glucose, and this is released into the bloodstream. So when the blood sugar level goes up, it also signals to the pancreas to release the insulin. And when the pancreas is no longer able to make the insulin, or when the body cannot make good use of the insulin it produces, it results in what is called as diabetes. So the glucose enters the bloodstream, the body tries various ways to get rid of the excess glucose, and when it is not, it results in what is called as diabetes. This causes typical symptoms of diabetes leading to diagnosis. What are the types of diabetes that we have? We have type 1 diabetes, then we have type 2 diabetes, and the third is what is called as the gestational diabetes. What is this type 1 diabetes? Those cells in the pancreas which produce insulin are destroyed. So when it comes to type 1 diabetes, our body is no longer able to produce the insulin. But when it comes to type 2 diabetes, a human body stops responding to the insulin normally. So our body is able to produce the insulin, but it is not making enough of it, or it is not making efficient use of it, which is called as the type 2 diabetes. So what is the difference between type 1 and type 2? In type 1, the insulin itself is not produced, but in type 2, there is insulin that is produced, but then it is not able to make efficient use of it, or the amount of insulin that is produced is not sufficient for the body. Whenever we speak about type 1 diabetes, it usually develops during the childhood but can also develop at any stage as well. But when it comes to type 2 diabetes, can develop at any stage but is most often after 45 years of age. And when it comes to type 1, it is usually seen during the childhood and can also develop anytime as well. But when it comes to type 2, there can be family history, it can be because of overweight or inactiveness, and it can also be because of high blood pressure as well. The third type of diabetes is what is called as the gestational diabetes. It usually affects the pregnant woman. Hormones produced during pregnancy lower a woman's receptivity to insulin and increase the blood sugar level. So the gestational diabetes develop in some women when they are pregnant. Most of the time, this type of diabetes goes away after the baby is born. So what are the symptoms when it comes to type 1 diabetes? There is blurred vision, extreme thirst, weight loss, slow healing of cuts and graces. When it comes to type 2, there is tiredness, weight loss, extreme thirst and blurred vision. And when it comes to gestational, it includes unusual thirst, fatigue, snoring, as well as the blood vision. These are some of the symptoms that are associated with diabetes. What are the causes of diabetes? When we speak about causes, there are two things that we have to look at. One is what is called as the type 1 diabetes. What are the causes? Yet people are not able to discover it. Doctors are not able to understand, and the immune system mistakenly attacks and destroys the insulin producing beta cells in the pancreas. So doctors don't know what exactly is the cause of type 1 diabetes. It can also be because of viral or bacterial infection. It can also be because of the chemical toxins within the food as well. An unidentified component causing autoimmune reaction can also be one of the cause of the type 1 diabetes. But when it comes to type 2 diabetes, it can be genetic factors, it can be wrong food habits, and it can also be sedentary lifestyle. When you consider the genetic factors, on an average, Indians are 4 times more likely to develop diabetes than Europeans due to the genetic reasons. Wrong food habits is also a part. Indian diet has more carbohydrates and saturated fats than required. This can be one of the aspect. And sedentary lifestyle, lack of physical activity, high stress are the part of today's professional life, which can also result in what is called as type 2 diabetes. So type 2 diabetes is a combination of genetic and the lifestyle factors. Overweight, obesity, carrying extra weight, making sure that you have no activities, physical activities, exercises, all of this can result in the type 2 diabetes. Whenever a person is suffering from diabetes, what could be the likely consequences? There is a risk of stroke, extreme thirst, sweat smelling breath, risk of heart disease, fatigue and lack of energy, pancreas malfunction, excessive urination, damaged blood cells, nerve damage, foot problems, loss of consciousness, visual disturbances, cataract and glaucoma, risk of infections, high blood pressure, gastroparesis, protein in the urine, ketoacidosis, dry and cracked skin. These are some of the impact that a person will go through. So over time, as high blood glucose leads to multiple problems, he can witness heart diseases, kidney diseases, eye problems, nerve damage, foot problems, so on and so forth. So how do we overcome it? What is the management technique for the diabetes? What we have to do is follow a healthy lifestyle. Drink a moderate amount of alcohol, if any, or completely avoid it, because alcohol is one of the contributing factors to the diabetes. So you should be avoiding it. If you cannot, it should be very minimal as much as possible. Take your medication as prescribed by the doctor. Test your blood glucose levels regularly. Exercise regularly. Follow a healthy diet. And if people are smoking, you guys should stop immediately. And whosoever is planning to start this habit should not even think of it. So stop smoking immediately is another one. So basically, we have to achieve and maintain a healthy body weight. We have to be physically active, at least 30 minutes of workout. Moderate intensity activity is what is required. We need to have a healthy diet, avoiding high sugar and saturated fats, and avoiding tobacco use, as smoking increases the risk of diabetes as well as the cardiovascular disease. These are some of the measures that we may have to take in order to prevent diabetes. Now, what we have to focus is on the prevalence of diabetes in India. When we look into the statistics, the estimates in 2019 showed that 77 million individuals had diabetes in India, which is expected to rise over 134 million by the year 2045. Approximately 57% of these individuals even remain undiagnosed. When we look into the statistics, the burden of diabetes in India has been increasing from the year 1990, and it has also increased considerably from the year 2000. So if we look into the data, it was about 7.1% in 2009. In 2019, it is about 8.9%. So the prevalence of diabetes in India has risen from 7.1% in 2009 to about 8.9% in 2019. In order to prevent diabetes, there have been measures that have been taken up by the government of India. Even though health being a state subject, the Department of Health and Family Welfare provides technical and financial support to the states or the union territories under the National Program for Prevention and Control of Cancer, Diabetes, Cardiovascular Disease and Stroke as part of the National Health Mission, based on the proposals received from the states as well as the union territories. Diabetes is an integral part of this program. Under the program, all age groups, including children, are covered. Under Free Drug Service Initiative of the National Health Mission, financial support is provided to states as well as the union territories for provision of free essential medicines, including insulin for the poor, needy people, including children. Furthermore, quality generic medicines, including insulin, are made available at affordable prices to all under Jan Aushadhi scheme in collaboration with state governments. Government hospitals provide free of cost treatment. The treatment for inpatient care is also available under Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana for about 10.74 crore families eligible under the ABPMJ as per socio-economic caste census of 2011. These are some of the measures taken by the government of India to prevent diabetes at the global level, in order to bring an awareness to the people about the consequences of diabetes. Every year on November 14th, what we celebrate is called as the World Diabetes Day. It was created in 1991 by IDF and the World Health Organization. IDF here stands for the International Diabetes Federation. It was created in response to growing concerns about the escalating health threat posed by diabetes, and the World Diabetes Day became an official United Nations Day in 2006 with the passage of the United Nations resolution. It is marked every year on 14th November, the birthday of Sir Frederick Banting, who co-discovered insulin along with Charles Best in 1922. The World Diabetes Day is the world's largest diabetes awareness campaign, reaching a global audience of over 1 billion in more than 160 countries. The campaign basically draws attention to the paramount importance to the diabetes world and keep diabetes firmly in the public and the political spotlight. So basically, this is an awareness program so that the consequences of diabetes are known to people, and it is also requesting the people to move towards the healthy lifestyle. The World Diabetes Day campaign aims to be the platform to promote advocacy efforts throughout the year, global driver to promote the importance of taking coordinated and concerted actions to confront diabetes as a critical global health issue. So this is one of the programs initiated at the global level by the International Diabetes Federation and the World Health Organization so that we can bring an end to the diabetes. As part of the assignment, please put on the comment section what is the theme for the World Diabetes Day. It is this that we have to understand with respect to this topic. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.